to extend warm greetings to our honored graduates, the faculty and staff of the College of Social Work, and to the families, friends, and the guests of this outstanding class of 2024. I'm David Springer, Dean of the College of Social Work at Florida State University, and it is my distinct honor to welcome all of you on this extraordinary day. Each graduation ceremony is special. It's a moment of gratifying pride, not only for our graduates, but for their families, and for all of us in the College of Social Work. So today, as we gather to celebrate the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and relentless pursuit of knowledge, graduates, you stand on the precipice of a new chapter in your life. As you step forward into the world as graduates of our social work program, you carry with you not only the skills and the knowledge gained at this great institution, but also a profound sense of duty and purpose. Importantly, your journey to this moment and your own lived experience, which has guided you to this profession, has been marked by resilience, compassion, and steadfast commitment to making a difference in your communities and in the world. So this work, it's a calling, a passion, a privilege. And I want to thank you for answering that call to serve and to make a profound difference in the lives of others. Graduates, today is one of your finest and defining moments. Each of you should be proud of what you have achieved at Florida State University. We recognize this day as the mark of a personal accomplishment for each of you. But it's also the beginning of a new season of your life with new challenges, new rules, and new opportunities. May I also congratulate the families and friends here with us today. I know that you have provided the synergy that enabled these first-class talented people to gather here and proudly bask in this special moment. So in that spirit, I'd like to begin by recognizing all of the parents and caregivers of our graduates. For those who are able, parents and caregivers, will you please stand and let us recognize you? Will all of the spouses, partners, and significant others please stand? Will all of the children of our graduates please stand? Yeah. Grandparents, will you please stand? Finally, will all of those who love these graduates just as much as the others but didn't fall into one of those categories, please stand? All of you deserve acknowledgement for making this possible for them as well. And I imagine that I speak for the graduates when I say that without your encouragement, support, love, sympathetic ears, and perhaps checks, credit cards, Venmos, added responsibilities, and sacrifices, the graduates would not be where they are today. On the other hand, always remember, families and friends, that these graduates lived up to your expectations and rewarded you with their achievements. So you can be transparently proud of them, and even loudly so when they walk across the stage today. Our university and our college have rich histories, and most notably, dedicated and world-class faculty members known for their excellence. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce to you the distinguished faculty of the nationally ranked Florida State University College of Social Work. And faculty, when I call your name, if you would just please stand and give a little wave. Director of Field Education, Professor Katrina Boone. Dr. Katie Cow. Professor Jane Dwyer-Lee. Director of the BSW program, Dr. Carol Edwards. Director of the MSW program, Professor Fran Gamori. Dr. Tomi Gamori. Dr. Shalay Jackson, Dr. Mike Killian, Dr. Jeff Lacasse, Associate Dean for Culture and Community Engagement, Professor Keithan Mathis, Dr. John Moore, Director of the Institute for Trauma and Resilience Studies, Professor Karen Omi, Dr. Tanya Wren, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and today's Marshal, Dr. Lisa Shelby, Dr. Gash Tafera, Director of the Doctoral Program, Dr. Stephen Tripodi, and last but not least, we have a faculty member who's retiring from our college in FSU after 33 years. He's the sole remaining faculty member that is still on faculty from when I was a student here over 30 years ago. And he has made immeasurable contributions to the lives of our students, including many of our faculty who are on with the platform today. Dr. Neil Abel. Neil, the place won't be the same without you. It is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote commencement speaker, Dr. Jacqueline McMillan. Dr. McMillan obtained her Bachelor of Science degree in psychology and earned her MSW and PhD, both from our College of Social Work at FSU. She is a Florida Board Certified Clinical Social Worker and Qualified Supervisor for Clinical Social Work interns. So MSWs when you're looking for a supervisor. Her research interests are in the areas of baccalaureate social work research, substance use disorders and chemical dependency, mental health and wellness, grief and loss, emotional intelligence, and child-focused clinical assessment and research. She has publications in professional journals with topics ranging from validating clinical assessment tools for children to interventions with substance use and opioid harm reduction. Dr. McMillan participates in local and national organizations as a local and national speaker and presenter on various mental health related topics. She is an assistant professor in the Department of Social Work at the Florida A&M University, where she is challenged and presented each semester to teach social work in an ever-changing society that will always need that human touch of compassion and excellence with caring. Dr. McMillan.
Good afternoon, Florida State University College of Social Work. And congratulations to the graduates. Give them a hand again. Woo-hoo! As he introduced me, I am Dr. Jacqueline McMillan, but I wanted to start with a quote that I just read recently. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. You are the future. You graduates are the future of social work. So dream big, beautiful dreams. I wanted to encourage you in that way. But I wanted to also think about, and I was thinking about this when I was a student here. We had to do a prospectus. We had to do these exams in the PhD program, and I remember doing the exams, and they wanted to find out the origins of social work. Where did social work begin? I started at 1492, you guys. I did. There were comments from the readers of my work. It's like, it's interesting that you started at 1492. But yeah, I just had to start somewhere. And so where did it start for you all? All of you as graduates have your own origin story, your own why you chose social work. But I was thinking about that acceptance letter. Congratulations, Florida State University, College of Social Work. It's an amazing acceptance letter, and everyone gets one. So exciting. Back in the 20th century, when I was here, mine didn't read the same way, y'all. No, it didn't. Mine said, "We regret to inform you that you were not accepted." I had a psychology degree from Gainesville at the university that must not be named. And as a result of that, I missed some prerequisites for the Master of Social Work program. And so this rejection letter was disheartening. But the one thing about social work, and I don't know if every program does this, but I love that FSU's social work program does this, is that it provided me with information about how I can be reconsidered. And I loved that. There were bulleted information about if you do these things, then we will reconsider you. Isn't that nice? That in itself is hope and opportunity. Maybe the people who thought about that didn't think about it that way. But as I was thinking about this speech today, I was thinking about this is the thing that I wanted to share with you, is the encouragement of that. Is that even if a door closes for you or you think it's locked, there is still going to be hope and opportunity. And sometimes you don't meet the bar at that time, but as you continue to strive on your journey, you'll get there. You'll get there. And that's the rest is history. That's why I'm here today. But now it's time for audience participation. I did get permission for this, for you all to use your outside voice. Now, this is a big room, you guys. And so it's okay. This is a safe space. But since we were pre-K or kindergarten, we've been told to use our inside voices when we're in enclosed spaces. But I'm giving everyone, including you, permission to just for a moment use your outside voice for this, because it's a pop quiz. You have to be loud for this one. You ready? Nod your head. You ready? What is the abbreviation or acronym for Florida State University? What is it? There. A plus. Everyone gets 100% on that one. So today's brief message is going to be built upon this acronym of FSU. And so the first thing I wanted to share with you is that we fight. We're fighting Seminoles already, right? We bleed, garnet, sweat, gold. Is that what you do? So fighting for the unders and the misses. As social workers, we have to fight. We have to fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. And I call them the unders, the underserved, the underprivileged, the underrepresented, and the misses, misguided, misunderstood, and even those who are misinformed about social work. Aren't there some of those too? Yeah. So I've taught students, I've counseled folks from elementary school to nursing care, and now at FAMU in the Department of Social Work. But every now and then you get a Mr. Under. Mr. Under was what at a nursing home that I worked. And I did therapy. So I would go to Mr. Under and I would say, Mr. Under, I'm Dr. Jackie, and I would love to have a therapy session with you. No. And this is what Mr. Under said for weeks. And so that last time that I visited, I was prepared to close that case. I had an under junior who walked into the therapy session, sat down, and I could picture him vividly. He says, I don't do therapy. I said, oh, okay, let's just have a chat. Doing that for the unders and the misinformed about therapy, about counseling, about social work is so very important for us. The fight that we have is not only for those who know they need help, the fight is for those who sometimes are on that ledge and you have to encourage them down off of that. Mr. Under was suffering from cancer again. And it was something that he didn't want to talk about until that one day. And this was actually after this, I'm gonna put referred out, did not want therapy, et cetera, and so forth. But that was the day when Mr. Under needed somebody to fight for him. Under Junior was someone who was struggling with adolescence. He was a cutter. But after that first chat, he became one of my best counseling clients. And it was amazing. He would come rain or shine. He would come if he had a ride, or if he didn't, he'd walk. I said, you're late today. I had to walk here. Became one of my best clients, did wonderful work together. And so the fight that we have is something that Senator John Lewis talked about. He said, when you see something, say something, get in trouble. Good trouble, necessary trouble. If Dr. Jackie had given up and closed those cases, then Mr. Under and Under Jr. would not have had an opportunity to fight for themselves, right? So when we fight, We're advancing those human rights, social, racial, economic, and environmental justice that we talk about in those competencies. When we fight, we are engaging in anti-racism, diversity, equity, and inclusion, even for those who refuse it at first, even for those who are misinformed about social work. We fight because it's so important for us to help others. That's my why. My why. The reason I do the fight for the unders and the misses is because I want to save lives. I love your motto, change a life, start with yours. It's about fighting for that change. And so starting with yours is the S in FSU. You all did so good. Self-advocacy is the hallmark of your motto, changing a life, starting with yours. And let me just share a little personally, this might be TMI for some of you, but when I was growing up, I grew up in a house where abuse was emotional and physical. And so I would do what I called a defense mechanism. I would shut my mouth, which I don't do anymore. Yeah. Shut my mouth, hold my head down, make myself small and invisible as much as possible so that I would not be a target for this emotional and physical abuse. But I realized in doing that I was not self-advocating. It's a fight for yourself. It's not only important to protect yourself, to set boundaries, to self-care, but what I did want to say is that self-advocacy is not a telepathic exercise. There is no way that anyone else in here, no matter how amazing and discerning they are, can read your mind. And so when you self-advocate, that means you have to give voice to your questions. You have to give voice to your concerns and your needs. I've learned this being at Florida State University. When I first came, I thought, you see me, you know what I need. It didn't work for me. I had to ask questions. I ended up asking Dr. Abel questions at like 5 in the mornings. The first time he gave me his phone number, I came from that other university where no professor would give you their home number. So I just assumed it was an office number that I could leave a message on. So as a morning person, I call in the morning, I'm gonna leave this message while it's on my mind. And he answers, Dr. Abel, why are you answering the phone? He said, you called my house. Do you need something, Jackie? But I got my questions answered, folks. And that's important. My point of view is that the goal of self-advocacy is to make sure you get your questions answered, whether that's in a course, whether it's in a training, or during your onboarding in your new full benefit six-figure job, right? Yes, get answers to the questions you absolutely need for your success. Don't be afraid to give voice to what you need. It's so important for you to do that. Don't be scared of that. And then finally, the you guys, unleash your extra. Anybody ever been called extra? Just nod if you have been called extra. Extra, of course, the formal definition is adding to, in addition to, but informally it's excessive. Often people say she's extra because they're a little more histrionic, a little more dramatic, narcissistic, extravagant, over the top. But unleashing your extra is about tapping into what makes you extraordinary. That's what you have to do. That's what we do as social workers anyway. Here's my disclaimer. This will at times make folks uncomfortable. Case in point, I was a case manager after that first degree, and I worked really hard, morning person, no husband, no children at the time, and so I could work whatever hours, get my notes done, see my clients, see their families. And so I did this for 6-9 months and received accolades for that, employee of the month, all of these great things when you're working really hard and you have that time to do that. And I was called into the supervisor's office, built great rapport with my supervisor and my coworkers. I was called in the supervisor's office. The supervisor says, Jackie, you're doing too much. Your coworkers are complaining. Those nice people that I just talked to and we were going to have lunch together, they're complaining. You are setting a standard that no one can meet. You are doing too much. Slow down. How deflating mouth shut, head down, invisible and small is how I felt. But I've learned, graduates, after all these miles on my odometer, I've learned that it's my extra, it's mine. And I use that to help families, to help children. I use that to help persons who use drugs. I use that for my students. I use that for my consumers, my clients. I use my extra for these benefits. These benefits were not for the coworkers who were complaining. And so sometimes your extra is something that you have to embrace even when no one else embraces that, because the results are phenomenal. Extra makes your voice a little louder. Your personality might be a little sweeter, saltier, spicier. Your light is brilliantly bright. In the work we do, social work matters, extra matters too. I think about that if someone tells you you're being too loud and you're working on behalf of someone, don't let them mute your voice. If you are sweet or spicy, I was told I smiled too much. Someone said I was phony because I smiled too much. I said it's just an automatic reaction to human existence. When I'm around other humans, I just smile. I apologize if that makes you uncomfortable. Don't let anyone dilute your personality. In this world that we live in, it can become so dark and desolate, and the longer folks stay in it, they become comfortable in this dark dimness, in the shadows. But never let anyone dim your brilliance, your bright light. Others will come to depend upon it. Like, where is that person with that bright light? So unleash your extra. Unleash the extraordinary that is within you, that which is necessary trouble for those in need. So as you fight for the unders, the misses, as you self-advocate, get your questions answered, and as you unleash the extraordinary you on behalf of those you serve, remember this quote. It's from Carl Gustav Jung. It's a seminal work called The Undiscovered Self. And I just picked this book up. Someone was throwing this book away. I just picked it up. I said, I'm going to read this book. But at the end of it, it says this: I am neither spurred on by excessive optimism, nor in love with high ideals, but am merely concerned with the fate of the individual human being, that infinitesimal unit on whom a whole world depends. The whole world depends upon you. The whole world depends upon us as the helping profession. Change a life. Start with yours. Be well, my friends, and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. McMillan. It's now my pleasure to introduce this year's student speaker, Alyssa Perez. This remarkable student, she was selected to speak on behalf of the students graduating today. Alyssa is a soon-to-be graduate of Florida State University's Bachelor of Social Work program and an incoming student with our Clinical Advanced Standing MSW program. Throughout her undergraduate journey, Alyssa excelled academically while earning her child welfare practice certification and completing an impactful internship with FSU Early Head Start. Beyond the classroom, Alyssa was deeply involved on campus, serving as a leader in the Women's Student Union and actively engaging with the Center for Leadership and Service. Her time at FSU has been shaped by her dedication to learning, her commitment to service, and her passion for creating meaningful connections within her community. All right, now please join me in welcoming Alyssa to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alyssa Perez, and I'm incredibly honored to stand before you today as a proud BSW graduate of Florida State University's College of Social Work. It feels surreal to be here, reflecting on a journey that has brought me so much. Like many of you, I came into this field with a passion for helping others, but over the course of these years, I have discovered that social work is about much more than offering help. It's about creating change, advocating for justice, and building connections that empower individuals and communities. My experience in the BSW program has shaped me not only as a future professional, but as a person. Throughout these years, the College of Social Work has not only equipped me with invaluable knowledge and skills, but has also provided a sense of community and support that I never expected. The professors, the mentors, and fellow students have been welcoming and encouraging, making it a place where I felt I could truly belong and grow. It's a rare and special environment where the passion for social justice is shared by all, and where we can lean on each other when the journey feels overwhelming. And let's be real, if it weren't for the bodega, we might not have made it through some of those long days. Another defining and probably my favorite experience in my time at the College of Social Work was participating in the Alternative Spring Break program in St. George's, Grenada. As a programming leader, I had the privilege of engaging in thought-provoking discussions on World Social Work Day, where we raised awareness of social justice issues and reflected on the transformative role that social work plays in addressing these challenges. Additionally, by collaborating with various organizations there, I was able to integrate their expertise and work together to provide holistic support to vulnerable populations. The experience was a reminder of the power of community, both local and global, and how social workers must remain adaptable, compassionate, and driven to create positive change no matter where we are. One of the most impactful parts of all of our journeys is field placement. And let me tell you, nothing teaches you adaptability like field placement does. Field placement wasn't just about learning the practical skills of social work. It was also about embracing the unpredictability of life and realizing that sometimes the best tool you have is a deep breath and a sense of humor. Throughout all these experiences, I've come to realize that social work isn't just about helping others. It's also about recognizing the importance of self-care, community, and support. It's these relationships, whether with students, faculty, or even the bodega, that have shaped me into the person I am today and have inspired me to keep pushing forward, especially when the challenges seemed insurmountable. My journey to this moment hasn't been without its challenges. As someone who was raised by two incredible parents and later faced the loss of both parents, I've had to navigate life with a determination to honor the sacrifices they made. Their resilience became the foundation of my own, and it is through their strength that I found my passion for helping others, particularly children and families. The College of Social Work has provided me with not just knowledge, but tools to make a difference, and most importantly, a network of peers and mentors who inspire me every day. As I stand here today, I feel immense pride in the person I've become through this program, and I am now entering the Clinical Advanced Standing MSW program in the spring, eager to deepen my skills and discover my niche. While this chapter is closing, I am incredibly excited to continue the work I've started and see how I can further contribute to the communities I'll serve. I know I'll carry the lessons and values I've gained with me as a BSW student every step of the way. To my fellow graduates, each of us has a story and each of us has faced obstacles on this path. Today we celebrate the resilience it took to get here and the commitment we made to be a voice for the voiceless. This is just the beginning. The work we've done so far has laid a foundation, but the impact we can make is limitless. No matter where our paths take us, the principles we've learned here will continue to make meaningful contributions to the lives of others. Now, more than ever, our world needs compassion, driven individuals who are willing to take on tough issues with open hearts and clear minds. Let's continue to lean on each other, to empower the communities we'll serve, and to always remember why we chose the field as we step into the world as agents of change. Congratulations, class of 2024, and as always, go Knowles. Thank you.